What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, looking at our brand new Dark World support card coming out of Code of the Duelist, and I am actually super excited to see more Dark World supports. If you guys don't know, Dark World is actually one of my original loves in this game. The first regional I ever went to, this is way back in the GX era, it was actually Dark World, and I know that sounds like really degenerate, like, wow, Cap, you started your career with Dark World? What a fucking scumbag. Yeah, man, I really loved Dark World back in the day. I want to say they came out of Enemy of Justice, and man, I really love that deck, guys. I had everything in Ultimate Rare, the golds, the brows, the silvers. I even had bronze crappy ass in Ultimate Rare, and Dark World was not only extremely good back then, but it was so fun because you had Graceful Charity, Morphing Jar, and Card Destruction all legal at the same time, bro. Like, if you've never used Graceful Charity in Dark World, like, you don't know what you missed. You draw 3 cards, discard like 2 silvers or like a silver and a gold, activate Brain Control, and just kill your opponent. That shit used to be so fun. But anyways, new Dark World support, and actually, before I jump into the card, which the artwork looks magnificent on. And you know what? Not to go on a little conspiracy theory, but could Konami be making a new lore between Dark World and Lightsworn? Because you can clearly see here in this card, which actually the name of the card is Dark World BrainWashing. So if you look here at the card art, it shows Grapha, and he's obviously like manipulating Raikou. And you guys know that in this set, or I guess maybe some of you guys don't know, in Code of the Duelist, Konami is actually releasing more Lightsworn support, but it's like, it's Dark Lightsworn support. So I'm wondering if maybe Grapha kind of manipulated Raikou, and then Raikou went and he manipulated all the other Lightsworn. Like, maybe that's kind of a new lore that Konami's creating, which could be very, very interesting. But speaking of Code of the Duelist, so far, this set is shaping up really nicely, and I say that not just because Konami is obviously giving us the new Link, support and the new Link mechanic and all that stuff, but they're revealing Lightsworn cards and Dark World cards in all of these decks from like GX. It's cool because it's saying like, hey, we haven't forgotten about you, Glad Beast and Six Samurai and Monarchs, because those are all GX archetypes. So it's really nice that they're not forgetting about those decks, even though they're going into a new era. So anyways, let's read what the card actually does. It's a continuous trap. It says when an opponent's monster effect is activated, if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, you can target 1 Dark World monster on the field, return it to the hand, and if you do, that monster effect becomes your opponent randomly discards 1 card. So this card works almost identical to the very, very old Dark World card, Dark Deal, if you guys have ever actually heard of that card. Essentially, I guess in layman's terms, let's say your opponent summons, I guess, Green Gadget, right? And they're trying to say, all right, I'm going to search. Green search is what, red, I think? Yeah, okay, let's just say it searches red. They say, I'm going to search red, and then you activate your Dark World BrainWashing. Green's effect will actually make your opponent discard 1 card in your hand, and that's really good because it activates all your Dark Worlds, obviously, but they don't just summon themselves or, brow, like you draw 1, Grapha, you pop 1. They get your opponent made you discard, or your opponent made you discard a card, so you actually get their bonus effect. Like, if you summon Silva, if your opponent hits a Silva out of your hand, not only would you summon the Silva, but then you'd be able to return 2 cards from your opponent's hand back to their deck, which is really important. And at first, I didn't quite like the whole, like, you have to control a Dark World card, or excuse me, a Dark World monster. But then I kind of thought about it, like, what is the monster's Dark World? Like, what monster does Dark World almost always have on the field? Usually it's Grapha. So, like, this is a way to put Grapha back in my hand, potentially, like, discard the Grapha. I'd be able to, like, pop a card again. And I think Grapha has, like, a Monster Reborn effect. If your opponent discards it, I feel like it Monster Reborns a monster in defense mode from your opponent's graveyard. So not only would you get that effect, but then, you'd be able to like resummon your Grapha easily anyway. So I think this card is actually really good. The fact that it isn't once per turn is very important, and it doesn't just stop monster effects on the field. So you can use this against Maxi, you can use this against, Cherries, you can use this against Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, Effect Veiler, which is actually complete ass against Dark World. Like, it's very important. And, one of the things that people kind of forget about Dark World is Dark World took a huge blow when Skill Drain, like, went to 1. I know Dark World wasn't that relevant then, but Skill Drain is a card Dark World used to run, like, in 3s, because Dark World don't really give a fuck about effects on field other than Tour Guide. All of the, the deck's pretty much just, activates in the graveyard, and it's basically just Grapha beatdown. So this is another really good way for Dark World to be able to actually, like, negate monster effects and keep their field protected. So you guys let me know. I actually think this card is really good, and I hope that this isn't just 1 card in a vacuum. I hope that they give us maybe 2 or 3 Dark World support cards, because Lightsworn have 2 cards so far, so it'd be nice to get this, and maybe a new Dark World monster. Like, that'd be kind of helpful. Let me know what you guys think. I think Code of the Duelist is looking like an an excellent set, and I know it's kind of scumbag, but I've always secretly loved Dark World, so I'm definitely looking for more Dark World support. Konami, just unban card destruction. Just do it. Unban card destruction so that we can just have so much fucking fun with Dark World. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.